When we first started fly fishing, we realized really fast that you can spend a lot of money on gear you don't actually need. So today, we're breaking down what we actually use as beginners, what we think is worth it, what you can skip, and what we would buy again if we were to start over from scratch.
But as beginners, highly recommend.
I don't know that I would go back without it. Hopefully that bungee will work to scoop. And then when we can afford it, can y'all hear that?
That was some thunder.
I know we're in a little bit different of a setting. Fun fact, Spencer and I actually own a performance gym. So that's where we are right now. Thought it would be a good place to film this.
A little bit more space than our apartment.
Yes, better lighting, that's for damn sure. Sorry if you can hear, it's like dumping rain right now. So if y'all can hear that, it's probably actually really nice. But for this video, we were gonna break things down into different categories. So we're gonna start off with, what do you call this, essential?
What you need to fish.
Yeah, like you gotta have this. So Spence, you wanna start us off?
So there's a lot of starting pack rods out there varying at different price points. This is the one we chose and went with. It's obviously, it's not gonna be your best rod and reel, but it'll catch fish. So this is a Redington Crosswater. Can you see that? It's a 5-weight, 9-foot pole, which is a good all-around pole that you can get for most fishing here. It has come with a plastic reel. There are gonna be some downsides to that, but like I said, this is caught fish and we'll probably just use it for the foreseeable future. And
this one actually comes with backing and it comes with a fly line.
This setup, backing, fly line.
Might not be great, but it comes with it.
It might not be the best stuff out there, but it'll get the job done. And if you're new to this, you don't want to spend a bunch of money out the gate, or you don't know if you will even enjoy it. It's a low point of entry that kind of just gets your foot in the door. That way you're not blowing $500, $1,000 on a rod reel setup. We'll
link our rod in the description below. That way you guys can go check it out. We just got ours off of Amazon.
We don't have any of the leader that we have, or like a bag of it that we put on our fly line.
We've used it all.
But we have, what is it?
It's Scientific Anglers. So pause real quickly. If y'all can hear this rain, look at this. That is dumpage. I'm coming back.
Anyways, after our intermission of rain, Scientific Angler's a great brand. I think the leader is like $15 for 3 pieces of leader.
Like $19.95.
Yeah, $20, so not too bad. And then we also have Scientific Angler Tippet, and this is what you attach to your leader. So if you're new to fly fishing, a beginner like us, you attach your tippet to leader so you don't chop off your leader just because it's a little more pricey. This stuff is cheaper, so you can get a spool of this. 5X though is much smaller tippet and used for more wild fish or fish that are just a little bit more shy to the line. So we were actually advised to use, for beginners, a 3X. A little bit stronger, more forgiving. I mean, I don't know if we're good enough to determine the difference, but that's just what we were told.
Absolutely not good enough.
Yeah.
But Spencer caught a fish, so can't say it doesn't work.
Those are the essentials you need for your rod reel setup. Okay, so another thing we use, especially as beginners, is, I think you can see that, an indicator. I know in the fly fishing world, I think using indicator is a bit of a sin, but as a beginner, or
is
maybe
it really?
I think it's not like the
purists use a dry fly.
Yeah, the purists don't use an indicator, but as beginners, highly recommend. That way you can see when a fish hits your fly. So definitely get a pack of indicators if you can. So obviously, before we get too far ahead of ourselves here, make sure you get a fishing license. You can't fish without one, so just make sure you got one before you get too far into your fishing journey.
Some other things that would be really hard to fish without, obviously you need your flies. So we started off with just one box. We had everything in here. Honestly, we don't even have that many things. Can y'all see that? So we started off with one box and then we ended up getting 2 This one you can see right here. The only reason we did that originally was so I could have a box and Spencer could have a box if we're not always gonna be next to each other, because we have a tendency to lose flies. But what we ended up doing was separating the boxes into nymphs and then dry flies, if you can see that. So we can differentiate, like these are the nymphs and little segments that way. So long story short, you gotta have flies in order to catch some fish.
And some nice quality boxes. I've seen some videos where people would invest in some cheaper boxes that break and then they can lose all their flies in the river. So
pause real quick. Our roof is leaking. Oh. The fun part of owning your own gym with Skylight is sometimes you got leaky roofs. Shout out to the Home Depot. Your buckets are great. We also have some clippers.
I think they're called nippers is the technical term.
Okay, clipper nippers. These are really, really important. We got these, I think these are just like a couple bucks, not expensive at all. My dad uses nail clippers. I don't know that I would use those, but honestly, they're the same thing. So these clippers, these ones also come with this little tool on there, and then this like file thing.
I think that's for sharpening hooks.
Sharpening hooks, okay, didn't know that. And then it also comes with, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's like a pointy thing, needle looking thing. I think that's to, oh my knees. I think that's to help get knots out. So these couple bucks, Bass Pro, super important. And then pliers, nothing fancy, couple bucks as well. Important if you need to help get the hook out. We would deem those as essential.
And big thing too with those, don't go expensive. You don't need expensive for those.
And then split shots. So this right here is $2, like Bass Pro, I think. We have a size 3. I don't even know how to read that, 3-0. I know some people say that like they'll use like beaded flies or something that have weight to get down. We use split shots pretty much every time where we are. We're still trying to figure out like how many you need to get down. Regardless, I think investing, it's $2. So investing in these, it's always good to have. And then a net. I would say this is essential. We haven't been able to use it often because we've only caught one fish. Shout out to Spencer. But obviously, get a net. So, and then Spencer, they say when you get a net, make sure it's this material.
I forgot what type of material it is, but it's
we'll
like
spin you all around.
It's like I guess a silicone netting. They say it's better for the fish, safer for the fish. So a little bit more expensive than like a typical net, but definitely worth the investment. All right, so the last few pieces of essentials is clothing. And first off, a hat, just a baseball cap. You can get a fishing hat, full brim hat, but make sure you have some sort of hat just for face protection, eye protection. Also, I have really, I think Madison too, have really come to enjoy these lightweight fishing shirts. There's so many brands out there, so I wouldn't recommend any type of brand for you, but a couple things. Make sure you get one with a hood to protect your neck and ears. Madison's fishing shirt has a thumb pocket, or like a thumb.
Like your shirt right now.
Yeah, like this guy right here. Really good, probably to get something like that. This one unfortunately doesn't, but that way it'll protect the top of your hands from sunburn or anything. And then one final thing with these shirts, they're pretty much like rated for like SPF or
like UV protection.
Yeah, they're like UV protection shirts. So make sure it's one of those shirts, but definitely essential to get a nice lightweight shirt. And then the final thing that's an essential would be polarized sunglasses. So these are Oakley's, so they're pretty nice, but you can obviously get some cheaper versions that aren't as expensive as these. Yeah, those are probably the basic pieces of clothing you'll need for fly fishing.
After the essentials, we're calling this category, you don't need these to fish, but it's gonna make your experience a whole hell of a lot better. So I'm starting off with 2 of my favorite things. These are gonna be like so underrated. Sunglass holder thingies. I don't know what these are called. It's like a little wishbone. So you put your sunnies in them, and then they can just like hang around your neck right here. And the amount of times that I just like take them off and let them hang, I swear, I love those things. Next up is gonna be this little retractable device. Shout out to my dad for giving us a couple of these. This is life-changing. You don't need it. For the first like couple of times, Spencer and I just kept all this stuff in pockets. But this way you can clip it and then it just pulls. It's super easy. Now that we've used this, I don't know that I would go back without it, and it's ridiculously cheap. Next, I think it's always really good to have a knife. Does this one spring open?
Yes, it's.
Spencer has like 10 knives. Some of them spring open, some of them don't. And one time it sprung open and I wasn't ready and it sliced my hand. Knife. Oh. Knife. Back to the camera. A vest. We didn't put this in the essentials because like you honestly don't need it. It's not like you can't fish without it, but this is gonna absolutely change your fishing experience. It's really, really handy to have. Ours were not anything crazy. Something that was pointed out to us is when you get your fishing vest, it's nice to have like mesh for airflow so you don't get crazy hot. There are some super expensive vests. We're talking like into the hundreds of dollars. We got these from Bass Pro. What were they, Spencer? Like 40 bucks or something like that?
Yeah, they're just thin fabric.
Thin, doofy looking, white river fly shop. Nothing fancy, but these things do the job.
Some people also prefer like sling packs,
yeah,
which
sling
is
packs
great as
with
well,
it.
but this is just what we got because it's a little cheaper.
A case, I don't know if most rods come with a case naturally. Ours did. Ours was like a little setup. So as you can see, it just says like the cross water on there. Ours just came with it. Don't need it, but it's nice to have.
Back to some clothing that's gonna enhance your experience, and this also widely varies on what part of the country you're in. We're in California, NorCal specifically, so it's pretty warm here throughout most of the year. I think something we've both really enjoyed having are these pants. They're just fishing pants, lightweight, breathable, dry super quickly. So when we get into the water, they dry honestly 10, 20 minutes, if that. Keeps your legs protected from the sun. If you're hiking through some brush, keeps your legs protected. So definitely invest in a good pair of pants that'll last a while. Something that we actually just got, wading boots and some neoprene socks. Now we did plenty of fishing without this stuff, and it can be done from fishing from the shore. But we also just went in our tennis shoes.
Shout out to Flux, the shoes Spencer's wearing right now. Ooh, that was fashionable of you.
And if you have some lightweight shoes that dry super quick, you can definitely use those. But if you want good grip, and these are gonna probably be a little more pricey than what you want to invest in, but a good pair of boots is gonna make your experience a lot better. Probably can't tell because they're really dirty, but these are felt bottom shoes. So this have good grip on those slimy rocks at the bottom of a river. We went out last week in boots for the first time, and I felt really secure to the bottom of the river. Didn't really slip around at all.
And those were some big ass rocks we were walking on.
And if you don't know which boots to get, honestly, I'd just recommend going to your local fly shop and just talking to them. I've also learned that there's some states that don't allow felt bottom shoes, so just be aware of the laws in your state. But along with boots, neoprene socks, these help just insulate your feet when you're standing in cooler water. I think they also fill out the shoe is what I've been told, so your feet don't slide around in there as much and help prevent blisters. And then if you're in a really cold water, wool socks. These dry super quickly, really durable, and just add another layer of insulation to your feet when you're standing in some cooler water.
All right, next category, things that you absolutely don't need, but Spencer and I got. It's a very small category for us. We're gonna start off with this backpack. This is just a Plano backpack. I'm pretty sure it's the Z series. I'll put a link in the description. It's fully waterproof. So Spencer and I got this because since we do film, it's nice to have our camera gear in a waterproof bag with us. So this is a roll top, pretty spacious. I don't know if you guys can see. It actually comes with two I don't know what they're called, boxes. So we just took those out, pretty dang spacious. It has a spot for us to put our rod, water right here, and then it has like a little compartment, an extra pocket. So we actually got this on sale. It was like pretty much 50% off. So that's a huge reason why Spencer and I snagged it. I haven't used it yet, but I love it. We also got with it, because like I said, it was on a fat sale. This is just a little durable, waterproof storage bag. definitely don't need this. You can just use Ziplocs. That's what we use most of the time. So we'll put like, you know, phone, keys, wallet. So this is the gear we currently have, but there are actually quite a few more things that Spencer and I want to get that we think are gonna be super helpful. So while we're here, we're gonna get in a quick lift, and then we're gonna head over to Sportsman's Warehouse. We're gonna pick up a couple more items, and we're also gonna go over some items that we are gonna be getting in the near future. So Spencer and I really want to get some type of cord that can hook our net to our vest or our pants or something. So if you were to get an attachment, it costs like 20 bucks. So Spencer and I found these. They're just little like carabiners with a bungee. So we're gonna test this out, see if this works, so we can hook our net to one carabiner, the other side to another, and then hopefully that bungee will work to scoop so we can keep our net on us. So we're gonna get these, we're gonna test them out, and let you know what we think.
So we got a little break in the weather, not dumping as hard. So we're gonna head down to the river, do some fishing, but we wanted to talk about some gear that we want to get. But the first thing is we wanna get Onyx. If you watched our last video, I believe it was our last video. No, 2 videos ago. We had some difficulties finding fishing spots due to private property. And so if you're familiar with Onyx, you can look at all the public land, private land, access points, all that stuff. So that is one of the next items on the list to get for some technological assistance.
What do you think? Kind of like flicking it out there?
I don't know if I go stand very deep.
Kind of meant standing from shore. So something else that Spencer and I really want would be a pair of waders. Now, waders are super, super expensive. So we're having to save a little bit of money, which is why we went with the option of getting neoprene socks and wading boots. And we've asked some people that we really trust what type of waders would they get if they were just starting off. And quite honestly, every brand is gonna be good and every brand is gonna be bad depending on who you ask. Some have the theory of buy once, cry once. And that's honestly probably what Spencer and I are leaning towards. Just get a good quality pair that we can use over time, that have a really good warranty. But that is something that we've found that we obviously don't need, but we do think it'll be very beneficial to get waders in the near future.
On the subject of things we do want to get, as it's starting to rain, I think. Yeah, it's starting to rain a little bit, but we'll keep it going.
Take shelter while you talk.
I know, under the trees here. We want to get, first off, a wading stick. As we're getting out into the water, obviously the flow of the water can impact your balance and stability. And just, I guess, mainly for safety reasons, it would probably be a really good idea to get a wading stick. Well, it's starting to come down out here.
Starting to pour.
Hood up. And then we want to also get some like felt boot cleaners. Keep our felt clean on the bottom of our feet. As you're walking out in the river, they get dirty really easily. So just to help maintain our felt, want to get a wire brush. But here, check out. I don't know if you can see. It started to dump on us. We're gonna move on and I think see if we can find another spot. Hopefully we don't get too wet.
It is absolutely dumping right now. Oh. Can y'all hear that?
That was some thunder.
So we're gonna have to cut our fishing trip short because there's lightning and thunder, and I ain't trying to be in the middle of the river holding that fishing rod. So if we were to do this whole journey over again, not knowing anything, would we still have the same equipment? I'm gonna say yes. Notice how I strategically gave Spencer the metal stuff. However, if you guys are looking for something that's a very quick, easy way to get started, check out Ventures Fly Co. because on their website, they have the whole beginner package. So they have rods, reels, line. It comes with flies.
Tippet, leader, fishing net.
It pretty much, yeah, comes with all that. So that's a really reasonable price and product to get when you're just starting off. Another thing too, flies, really expensive. There's a company that some people on social media have told us about, Big Y Flies, And if you go on their website, their flies so much cheaper. I do also have to say, one of our followers, shout out to Mr. Gordon River, he's sending us a box of flies. He ties his own, and we're really excited to get those. So massive shout out to him. Thank you so much for thinking of us. But I think starting off, you don't really need that much. It can get expensive. Keep it in check, and I think you're gonna be perfect. At the end of the day, people fished millions of years ago and they caught everything just fine. So we're probably gonna kick this into gear because it's coming down. We'll see you all in the next one. Make sure to subscribe.
Peace.